Ever get the feeling like, uh, maybe there's more to success than just, going to college, getting a good job?
Yeah, it's a question a lot of people ask, especially these days.
Well, we're going to dive into that today with The Education of Millionaires by Michael Ellsberg.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it's really fascinating because he went and studied a bunch of self-made millionaires.
Okay.
And these were all people who had made their millions without relying on a traditional college degree.
Huh. So what's the secret sauce? What did they all have in common?
That's what we're going to find out.
All right, let's dive in.
So Ellsberg, he's not saying that education is bad or anything like that.
Right.
But what he is saying is that there are all these skills that people need to actually be successful in the real world, not just in a classroom.
Yeah, it's like school gives you the theory, but real success takes, actual doing.
Exactly. And he points to three skills in particular that these millionaires all seem to have mastered:
Yeah.
sales, marketing, and negotiation.
Interesting. And those aren't exactly things they teach you in a typical college course.
Nope, not usually.
Yeah.
So think about it. What are some skills that you use every day that you didn't learn in school?
Yeah, that's a good question for our listeners to think about. We probably all have a few.
Definitely. And that's kind of Ellsberg's point.
Hmm.
These real world skills are often what make the biggest difference.
Makes sense.
Another big thing he talks about is networking.
Okay, how does that fit in?
Well, he found that who you know can be just as important, if not more important, than what you know.
Yeah, I can see that.
And a lot of these millionaire entrepreneurs, they really leverage their personal connections, their mentors, their partnerships. It's all about building those relationships.
So it's not just about what you can do on your own, it's about who you can connect with and collaborate with.
Exactly. And there's this one story in the book that really stood out to me, about this millionaire who landed a huge deal just because he happened to be sitting next to a CEO at a charity event.
Wow, talk about being in the right place at the right time.
Right. It just shows you the power of networking. And, another skill that Ellsberg really emphasizes is the importance of learning how to sell.
Really? So, like being a good salesperson?
Yeah, he actually says that all successful entrepreneurs and millionaires are, at their core, skilled salespeople.
Hmm, I wouldn't have thought of it like that.
Right. But when you think about it, we're all selling something all the time. It's not just about products.
It's about ideas.
Yeah, it's about getting people on board with your vision, whether it's a business proposal or even just convincing your friends to try a new restaurant.
So, it's about communication.
Exactly. And persuasion. It's about connecting with people and getting them to see the value in what you're offering.
That makes sense. But not everyone's a natural salesperson.
Yeah, that's true.
What would Ellsberg say to people who are maybe a little bit shy or intimidated by that idea of selling themselves?
Well, I think he would say that it's not about being pushy or inauthentic. It's about understanding your audience, figuring out what they need, and then explaining how you can help them achieve their goals.
So, it's about building trust.
Absolutely. And that leads us to another big point in the book: creating your own career path.
Instead of just following the traditional one.
Exactly. Don't just wait for opportunities to come along. Go out and make them happen.
And how do you do that?
Well, Ellsberg says that it all comes down to problem solving.
Ah, so finding a need and filling it.
Exactly. And he says that millionaires are often the people who are really good at identifying problems and then coming up with creative solutions.
So it's not just about having a great idea, it's about seeing how that idea can solve a real problem for someone.
Exactly. And that's something that we can all do. We've all had those moments where we've had to think outside the box and come up with a solution to a problem.
And that's really the heart of entrepreneurship, right?
I think so. It's about taking initiative and not being afraid to try new things.
And, a lot of times those creative solutions come from working with other people.
Yeah, that's where those partnerships come in. You find people who have skills that you don't have, and you work together to solve problems.
It's about finding those win-win situations.
Definitely. So to bring it all back to the book, The Education of Millionaires,
Yeah.
it's really a reminder that success isn't just about having a degree.
It's about so much more than that.
It's about having the right skills, building strong connections, and finding ways to create value in the world.
And for our listeners out there, that leaves us with a question. If you could learn one new skill that would help you reach your goals, what would it be?
That's something to think about. It could be anything, really.
Yeah, and it could be the key to unlocking your own success.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into The Education of Millionaires.
It's a great book, definitely worth checking out.
Absolutely. It might just change the way you think about achieving your dreams.